Hi, and welcome back to Yoga Therapy with Ashley. I'm Ashley, social worker and yoga therapist. Sometimes healing just feels like too much. Like, I've done all the therapy, I've journaled, I've meditated, I've maybe forgiven. I've been the strong one for everyone else, and I'm still here, feeling like I just can't do it anymore. And when we feel that way, it's easy to wonder, what's the point? Why am I still here, circling back to the same feelings? If you're in that space right now, tired of the work, tired of being the strong one, tired of looking for the lesson in every hard thing, I want you to know that you're not alone and you're not failing. In fact, this place you're in, it's more common than you think. The way we go about healing is often about the same way we've gone about everything else in life. And for many of us, that approach started as an emotional reaction. If you grew up in chaos, maybe you became hyper-focused, over-responsible, or achievement-driven as a way to feel safe. That survival pattern might have helped you succeed at school, career, or other goals, but emotional healing doesn't work that way. You can't race to the finish line of trauma recovery, because if you go into healing with the same high, strong urgency that trauma created in the first place, you're still running on the same survival energy that you're trying to unwind. And here's the kicker. You can take the best supplements, eat the most nourishing foods, do all the right things, but if your body isn't relaxed enough to absorb and integrate them, so much of that effort goes to waste. The nervous system has to feel safe before it can truly repair. When you're already running on empty, maybe because you're sick, grieving, stressed, your nervous system has less capacity to filter what's old from what's happening right now. So when something hits a nerve, your brain scans for similar experiences. And suddenly, you're not just reacting to today's stress, you're feeling every other time you felt that way. From a Jungian perspective, this is also when the shadow self slips in. Those parts you've worked so hard to accept or to integrate, they can feel louder, more in control, like they've hijacked your reactions. No one tells you this, but the work of healing can cause its own kind of burnout. Not because you're doing it wrong, but because it's hard to live in a constant state of self-examination and emotional effort. When that effort goes on for months or years without enough recovery, your vagal tone, the flexibility of your vagus nerve, starts to wear down. You might notice you're stuck in high alert or completely shut down. It's not weakness. It's your body protecting you in the only way it knows how. And remember what we said earlier. If you're approaching healing from the same high-strung, achievement-driven mindset that trauma created in you, you're just wearing your nervous system out faster. Your personality doesn't magically shift because you decide to heal. It has to be rewired through safety, rest, and repetition. At some point in life, whether from trauma, chronic illness, cancer, or grief, many people find themselves disconnected from their body. One moment, the body is something you live in. The next, it's something you endure. The brain fog rolls in, the fatigue sets in, the nausea keeps coming back, and you feel like, I don't even recognize myself anymore. That's not just physical pain. That's existential pain. It challenges your sense of control. It shakes your confidence in your body's ability to heal. And over time, it's not just the body that feels sick. Your hope starts to feel sick too. If you've done spiritual work, meditation, yoga, breath work, you know all the beautiful words. Trust the process, surrender, shift your vibration, stay in the present. But what happens when you're 6 days into chemo, or 3 months into a flare-up, or 5 years into grief, and your hope is hanging by a thread? Sometimes you don't need another mantra. You need permission to say, I'm scared, I'm tired, and I'm doubting everything right now. And you need to know that's not failure. That's being human. Spiritual growth isn't about performing positivity. It's about being able to sit in the honest tension between hope and despair without abandoning yourself on either side. Here's where it gets even more tender. When pain shows up, especially physical pain, it feels so loud that it takes over the entire screen of your awareness. You see it on the scans, you feel it in your chest, You taste it in the medication. You carry it into the doctor's office, the hospital bed, the sleepless nights. In these moments, teaching the witness is hard. How do you become the observer when your pain is the only thing that you feel? But this is exactly where the practice begins. You don't have to make the pain disappear to find the witness. You simply start noticing, I am having this experience, but I am not the experience itself. Even as the body aches, something in you remains whole. That spark, the consciousness, the witness is untouched. It's not time-bound. It doesn't judge. It just is. In real healing work, doubt will visit you. You will question, can my body actually heal? Am I strong enough to keep going? What if I'm fooling myself? These are not weak questions. They are sacred invitations to make room for both your humanity and your spirit. Because pretending you're never afraid, that's spiritual gaslighting. And honestly, it adds another layer of suffering. You don't need to fight the doubt. You just need to witness it too. One of the hardest lessons in healing is this. Not everything is meant to be fixed immediately. Sometimes healing means learning to hold pain without losing yourself to it. It means saying, I see you, I feel you, but you are not the whole of me. The witness allows both things to coexist. The very real physical suffering and the very real infinite spark that's never been touched by it. There's a dangerous place many people fall into, especially in spiritual or wellness spaces, and that's what some call spiritual narcissism. You attracted this illness. If your vibration was higher, you'd be healed. Your thoughts created your disease. Let's be clear. No one chooses illness or trauma. Yes, there may be soul lessons. Yes, beliefs shape our nervous system, but life is bigger, more mysterious, and more sacred than cause and effect formulas. Real healing requires both compassion for your pain and responsibility for your inner work without blaming yourself for being sick. If you take one thing from today, let it be this. Healing is not about being fearless. It's about being honest. It's about letting yourself say, I trust the process, and sometimes I don't. And both are okay. Every breath is a return. Every moment of awareness is healing. Every ounce of hope, even when fragile, is sacred. You don't need to get it perfect. You just need to keep showing up gently, honestly, and the best you can. If this spoke to something in your own healing journey, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Subscribe for weekly videos where we blend therapeutic insight, yoga therapy, and mind-body wisdom to support real emotional healing. New videos drop every Friday. I'll see you next time.